Yo, what is going on, guys? Hope you're all good. So this is basically going to be series. I'm gonna try and record one every single day about basically documenting my journey of becoming a millionaire. All right, so that's interesting because right now I have no clue how that is gonna happen. But I know that it will happen. Obviously, if I have the goal, I have the drive, I have the purpose, I have the means. I'm around some really successful individuals. I have a really good vehicle that can help me do that. I have all the skills that I need. I have the faith. I have God. So that's definitely going to happen. Obviously, I have zero clue how that's going to happen. I just know that it will. I don't know when it's going to happen. I just know that it will. I'm currently 26 years young. I was born and raised in Bulgaria. My name, well, the way people call me now, it's Leo Casa. But my name, where I was born, is Lechazar Kasabov. So clearly Bulgarian by that name. So anyone who is watching this and is Bulgarian, I mean, that's where I grew up, in a small town called Balchik. This first video is going to be basically me just sharing my journey up until this point. The reason I'm recording this is because I'm seeing a lot of people having a lot of success, people that I'm studying, people like Alex Morton, people like Jake Parton, people like Jim Brach, people that I've watched on YouTube so many times, like Jim Rohn, people in the network marketing industry in particular. Like, I know about Premium Bells right now, and I see people like Daniel Fire and Calvin Becerra and Stefano Logato and other people, and people like Timothy Herr and people like Holton Bugs and people like a lot of individuals that I've been studying, and like Eric Worre, and they always talk about their struggles and challenges and upbringing, but I haven't seen, like, when I go on YouTube, I don't see like their struggles, their like upbringing, and like what were they really thinking and really going through as they were on the journey. So I am looking to create that. Right now, I'm not yet even a six-figure earner within the industry. I have very little success by the factual standards in the industry. Right now, the highest rank that I've been is called Gold in the company that I'm currently in, Jifu. And it's $1,000 a month on a part-time basis. So that's the highest I've been at the moment of the recording of this video. And obviously I have far way to go, and I've managed to achieve that, and I've almost been 3 years into the industry. I've properly been in the industry probably 4 months, if I have to be honest. I have no clue what I was doing before that. The company that I was with was not really good. The people that I was with and the leadership were incredible. We were just in, I would say, the wrong vehicle. It is what it is. Learned a lot. I'm really grateful. The people that I was with, incredible. But yeah, I was feeling confused a lot of the time, and that is going to be me being completely vulnerable and just saying how I feel and saying what I was thinking about and what I'm thinking about right now. I'm not trying to sound funny, I'm not trying to look cool, I'm not trying to impress anyone. Like, this is actually me recording this to me so I can play it to myself 10 years from now. I can play it to my kid or my kids 15-20 years from now, seeing what I was going through and what I was thinking in the moment of the journey. So right now, physically, I don't have the best of successes yet, by far any means, like when it comes to the human status matrix. Who knows? I might freaking out. I mean, I don't know. Future is interesting. I'm reading a book called The Purpose Driven Life right now. Purpose Driven Life. Incredible book. Makes you really think, man. It's crazy. So anyway, back to the story. Born and raised in Bulgaria, in Balchik. Okay, born and raised in Bulgaria, in Balchik, very small town. Normal family. We were never really extremely rich. We were never really poor, but now that I think and seeing what I see, we were quite kind of like a lower class. in Bulgaria, a lot of the people are lower class, and I've never had a lot of things and shit like that as I was growing up. My mom and dad moved to Balchik. They're not from that area in Bulgaria. I moved there, so I didn't grow up around grandmas and grandparents and cousins and all that. It was like me, my dad, my mom, my sister. And it was interesting, man. Now that I'm thinking, like, I was a really, like, fun kid. Like, really, I would always figure out a way of doing things. My mom and dad tell me to this day, when I wanted something, I would figure out a way to make it happen. Even, like, let's say they give an example. If I wanted to go to the beach, I would not just whine on my mom and dad, like, I want to go to the beach, I want to go to the beach, I want to go to the beach, I want to go to the beach. I would wake up earlier than everyone. I would go and make them breakfast. So I would do like bread with like salami and like cheese, and I would grill it on the grill, and you know, it'd be nice and melting, and I'll make them coffee, and then I'll bring the coffee in their room, and I'll be like, you know, I made you coffee, I made you breakfast, and then obviously will be the ask. I was like, can we go to the beach now? And like, that was me when I was growing up as a kid. And I was always figuring out a way to do things. I grew up in a Christian household. My dad was working a job, different things. He's kind of a hustler, I would say. He never really stuck to, he's not like the type of person with 40 years in this company. Like, he's been doing multiple things. And yeah, it was just interesting. So I would always try and figure out a way. At one point, my mom and dad, when I was like my younger ages, they had a real estate agency that I managed to lift off the ground with the help of my best mate's parents. So my dad used to work for his dad in his company, and then they actually funded my dad's business in the real estate agency. So that was a time where we actually had like a lot of money, which is not a lot of money now that I think of, but it was based on what we were earning, like a lot of money, right? But that didn't stop my dad to make me like hustle, figure out a way to earn money. I remember I was like, you know, I had 10,000 leaflets, and I had to like spread them out, and I'll get like $80 or something like that for like, and I was have to spread it for like 3 days, and I'll get 80 like bucks, which is nothing. But you know, I was like, it was my money, right? And I tried to do different things, and I started working when I was like 13, 14, different summer jobs, and tried a bunch of different things. But yeah, I remember times where we were like extremely poor as well. Like, I remember one day I was playing League of Legends, or I wanted to play League of Legends or something like that on my PC. And we didn't have internet, and I was like complaining to my dad that we did not have internet. And he said, you know, things are a bit tough right now. We have to either pay the phone bill or pay the internet. I cannot pay the internet, like both at the same time. We don't have the money. So it has to be the phone bill because I need it for work. And then next week, when I get paid or whatever, we can pay the internet bill. And that kind of hit me that, fuck, like, part of my language, by the way, I don't care how I look. I'm just being honest again. That was my thoughts at the time. Like, literally, I was like, damn, that sucks. And I'm here complaining about internet, and I saw my dad just being like, you know, I have to figure it out kind of thing. And by the way, my dad didn't grow up with his dad, so for him not having a dad raising me the way he did, I get emotional even when I'm saying that. But I'm really proud of him for what he's done so far and what he's doing. But yeah, it was interesting at the time. So I was like, how can you be such a ungrateful piece of, you know, your dad's trying to do everything and you're crying over internet, like, grow the fuck up. And I remember I went out, and I'm pretty sure I cried because I felt really guilty about that, because he's always been trying his best. And I even remember where I was in town, like next to one of the churches on one street, and I was saying, I'm gonna make sure that my kids never feel that in their lifetime. So that was the first time where I kind of had that real desire that I want to make a lot of money, and that was kind of my driving force ever since. Pardon me. we've had other situations where we would not have enough grocery to like eat food. Things were really tight at one point, because in Balchik it's like very small town, it's hard to find work, and my dad didn't want to try, like, I don't even know exact the story, but it was just interesting. And my mom was like still picking up her hairdressing salon, so that's what happened. They had some issues with the real estate agency, the market crashed, so they had to stop that. My dad was unemployed, or he was doing like odd jobs. My mom, everything that they had left, they reinvested into that hair salon, because mom really wanted to become a hairdresser, and they saw a way of making money there. So she started cutting hair, but obviously things had to pick up, and it was like really tough situation. And we didn't have things to eat, so in church people bought us like 2 bags of food, and they gave it to us. And I remember my mom was crying, and I don't remember if my dad cried at church, but it was very emotional, and I felt grateful and embarrassed at the same time, because I was like, I was embarrassed that like we were in that situation. I felt hopeless. I felt like I had to do something, but I couldn't do anything. It was weird, because obviously I'm not supposed to, but I had that like inside. And my dad was always trying to figure it out. In my family, when they were fighting, it was a lot of the time due to money. I had a really good upbringing. I love my parents, but there were a lot of times where they would shout and yell at each other, and I would hear banging and stuff like that, and that made me really scared for my mom. If my dad is gonna do something to her, he never hit her, but obviously you're a young kid and your imagination goes wild. That's why I was like, I would never like raise a hand to a woman. We're in 2025, so if some like bimbo that is trying to act like a lesbian and trying to act like a man and comes to me and starts hitting me, I'll whack the shit out of her, obviously. But if she's like proper, like, you get what I'm saying, like a lady, I would not do anything. So yeah, it was interesting. It was interesting upbringing. So that created a lot of desire for me to just be better. I grew up in a Christian household, and when I was growing up as a kid, I used to always like kind of hide that I'm going to church, because in Bulgaria it's not normal to be a Protestant like in America it is. There's like Catholics, Orthodox, and Protestants. Everyone was calling me like I'm part of a cult, which was kind of painful. When you're a kid, you're the weird kid that is like weird. It's not Orthodox. Fucking retards. Now that I'm thinking, people are so stupid, it's crazy. Just because they don't understand something, they just start naming it shit. So that was really annoying for me, made me irritated, and I was also trying to like act cool, so I would like hide from what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. But then at the same time, a lot of the times, like, God has really helped me throughout my life. So I was like ashamed that I'm believing in God differently than other people. Really confused kid, man, if I have to be honest. That I was always like trying to figure it out, and I had like figured it out mentality, and my dad has made me like, learn this and learn this and learn how to earn money. And one day I wanted to become like a manager, because that's what I thought, people making money. But then I realized I have to be an entrepreneur. In school, nothing really bothered me. I didn't really pay attention, didn't really care, because I was like, no one here is teaching me how to like make money or live properly. Almost everyone is stupid from my teachers. Sorry, like, I'm talking like in life, like some people are good at fun, and some teachers were really good, maybe a few, but most of them are like, I don't want to have your life for one bit. I would rather die than have your life. So why would I listen to you? Like, I had that common sense, and my gosh, I'm so transparent right now, it's crazy. And it was interesting. So long story short, I'm not saying that it was all that. Like, I had a really good like childhood. Like, I would play outside, and I had good friends around me, and we had sleepovers and playing video games, and it was a really good childhood. But like, I'm giving you moments of my life that really were pivotal for me and for where I am right now and where I'm going, and why I have that desire to become a millionaire as well. And yeah, when I was graduating school, I didn't know what university to go to. I didn't really want to go to university, but I didn't even know what to do. So my mom and dad was like, no, you have to go to university, at least get the diploma. And I was like, I don't need a diploma, I'll just work and just figure it out. But I didn't have a real plan. And for anyone who is young and watching this right now, if you don't want to go to university, that's cool. But for the peace of mind of your parents, say, listen, mom and dad, I'm not going to go to university, but I have this plan. I'm going to be doing this for this month. Then I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to find this thing. I'm going to start this business. I'm going to start from this person. This is my roadmap for the next 2-3 years. Instead of me going to uni, this is what I'm going to be committed to and focused to doing. So have a plan. So that way they can at least respect that. And if they say still go to uni, I mean, you have choice. You live your home and you figure it out on your own, or you go to uni and you stick in their house and just wait it out, right? So, long story short, went to uni in a nearby town called Varna, studying business investment and entrepreneurship. Total garbage, didn't learn anything, super stupid. Dropped out of my second year and moved to the UK. In the meantime, just so you know, what was kind of going on is I had a girlfriend at the time. My first girlfriend, I was like 16 or something, like proper girlfriend, like a long term, like a year or something. And I was really devoted because obviously what I've seen with my parents, and you know, I was really good, but it was just not really working out at some point through one thing or another. So that really left me like heartbroken, I guess, because we were gonna be friends, but then I said I cannot be a friend, like that's stupid. So I just had to cut her off completely, even though at the time I really loved her and I didn't even tell her that. But I was like, that's it, like we're nothing, like you don't need to talk to me, like we're nothing from now. And I had to say goodbye and just have my own self-respect, which was kind of tough at the time, I guess. Now it's just whatever. Hope she's happy and everything. And yeah, that made me really kind of numb at one point. Didn't really care because I'm quite emotional individual, but at the same time I think very logically. It's a weird mix. And yeah, then I had another girlfriend, I think before uni or while I was in uni, and she messed me up a bit. It was interesting because she was really beautiful, like she's really beautiful, whatever. And after that, because I was so giving to her, like I used to travel so much, do so much for her and all those things. And I was actually, now that I think, it was all my fault, the way that the relationship went the way it did and just ended, because I was not like doing things correctly. By the way, I always think that everything is our responsibility, and I always think men have responsibility for a lot of things that are happening in the world right now. Even if you have a breakup, if your girl cheated on you, that's still your fault. That's like my opinion. If you're a guy, you didn't do enough for your girl to stick around and not even dare to do that. Not that my girlfriend at the time cheated, but I'm just giving an example. And yeah, that really that drew the line. So then after that, I went on a kind of like a rampage. I got really disconnected from God, stopped going to church, didn't really care. So just started like sleeping around. At the time, I started smoking, by the way, when I was like 14, like smoking fags, then started smoking weed and shit. Just meaningless things, partying all the time, drinking like crazy, just coasting through life. And I've always knew that I have a higher purpose and a higher plan for my life, but never really accepted it. You know when you have to like do something and you just do everything possible to not do that thing because you don't want to do it, but you know that eventually you will have to do it, but you're still like trying to like prolong it as much as possible. So that was me. Like I always knew I can do so much more, I can be so much more, I have so much potential, and I have some purpose that I need to fill in this earth. But I was trying to like avoid it. I was trying to like numb it with alcohol and girls and weed and smoking and just doing dumb shit. A lot of this, like, I don't regret anything. It was, well, there were quite some fun moments and all that, but at one point I remember I was getting really unbothered, like didn't care about anything. So second year of uni just finished. There is the whole pandemic. I'm home. By the way, I'm alone in Bulgaria right now because my family has already moved to the UK because my dad found a way to work in the UK to get more cash. My mom closed the hair salon, moved to my dad in the UK, and it was just me left and going to uni. Don't even know why, just partying, wasting time, right? Didn't have any money by the time. Like, I'm still broke as a freaking joke. Like, I'm broke. Like, I'm broke, right? And man, there's so many stories that I can say, but I don't want this video to be like 3 hours long. And I remember my dad called me and he was like, Brexit is happening. The UK is moving away from Europe. If you want to move, it has to be now or never. So I was like, whatever, let's move, let's go, let's figure it out. I'm gonna, like, that's it, I'm dropping out of uni and I'm gonna really, like, figure it out, right? So I moved to the UK. I dropped everything, like, after the summer, September, I think September 5th, or no, September 7th of 2020, I moved to the UK, right? Now it's 2025, right? September 7th, 2020, moved to the UK. Had no money. Zero. Nothing, guys. I moved here and I was 10 days in quarantine because of the pandemic. The UK, by the way, was not in quarantine for the whole time, but then obviously because I would not take the jab, I had to be in quarantine because I was flying with a test. Okay? And I just moved here. Like, I left all of my friends, all of my life, dropped uni, like, completely fresh start. I don't even know what I was doing at the time, but I was like, I'm just gonna figure it out, man. Like, I cannot be staying here in this small fucking ass town any longer. Like, I would kill myself. I need change. I need to figure out, like, I cannot be doing this anymore. Like, I need to get serious. Because always in the back of my mind, the promises that I made to my younger self, like, I had to keep them, right? And I do the lockdown. I find myself a job in a restaurant in Legoland. I work for a month. At the time, I'm staying at my sister's and my brother-in-law house because I have nowhere to stay. I cannot stay with my mom and dad because they're in a shared household. So I go to my sister's and my brother-in-law's house. I was living there for a month until I can pay a rent to live with my mom and dad in the shared household in one of the rooms. So I was waking up early in the morning, 5 o'clock. I would walk past, like, pitch black for half an hour to take the bus to then go to work in Legoland. And I was doing that for a month. And then the lockdown came. For like a year, it was closed, everything in the UK. I got so depressed, got so miserable. I was just drinking every single day, playing video games, like a complete waste of potential and waste of time. I did not know what I was doing. I did not know why I was doing it. It was just like a completely meaningless existence. Now that I'm thinking, like, what I was even doing, man, that is crazy. And I'm trying to recall right now. So I was working a little bit with my dad and my brother-in-law. They were they're window cleaners at the time of recording this video, window cleaners. And I was just doing a bunch of different things, and I kind of forgot the promise that I made myself, because obviously it's lockdown, and I was not even trying to figure out how to make money at the time. Obviously, I'm listening to, like, podcasts and TD Jakes, and I have some sort of personal development, but I didn't know it's personal development. I would just, like, listen to seminars and stuff like that, because as I was growing up in the Christian household, we used to travel to a lot of seminars and meetings and all those things, and hearing South African speakers, and some of them had money, and I would be fascinated by the wisdom of these individuals and their understanding of the scripture and life, and just, have these philosophies that they live by. And I kind of admired that, but at the same time, I was living this, like, completely false life and living against what I know. So I have this information here, and I'm living this that I know is opposed to this information here, and I was like, complete mess, man. And then we started working back in Legoland, and I was working like 14-16 hours, doing absolutely nothing. And I remember I started learning, like, how to make money online. I started, like, researching different things, trying to figure out a bunch of different things. Invested money there, invested money in crypto on like the peak in 2022, right before it dumped down. I was the exit liquidity for like BlackRock and everyone else. Tried a bunch of courses, e-commerce, went to Hustlers University, and that's where I found out content of Andrew Tate before he even blew up. And this guy started talking, and it kind of just made sense, just like, work hard, make money. The things that he was saying, it just made sense on a biological level, and a lot of people hate him, so fuck you. He speaks a lot of facts and has an understanding of the system. Anyone who is awake and out the matrix actually likes that individual. Anyone who doesn't, you can fuck off my video right now, because I don't even care. And yeah, it just made sense. So at the time, I was back in Bulgaria. I just had enough from Legoland. I took a break. I was still working, but I just took a vacation. So I went back home in Bulgaria and got absolutely pissed drunk. For the whole week that I was there, I was not sober. Like, I was drunk 24/7, morning till evening, drunk out of my mind, like drinking like crazy, complete failure. I don't remember half of my stay there. And I remember I was flying back home and I was feeling like sick, like shivers in the airplane. I was feeling sick from all the alcohol that I was drinking and everything that was just happening. Just rough, man. I came back home, and at the time after that, I left Legoland and moved to a different restaurant called the Green Oak. Much better restaurant, getting paid more, but again in a restaurant, long hours. And there was this guy called Isaac that started working there, and we went out with him. I could clearly see his bad influence and he's not a good guy, whatever. Still, it was fun. So we went out with him one night in a club, and I got pissed drunk again, couldn't remember anything. So that was my usual thing. I would drink so much, like I could really drink, but then I would get to a point where I just start blacking out. Like, I don't remember the evening, and that would be it. Like, I would drink that much, black out, just keep drinking. If we're not out drinking, I would just buy a bottle of wine for the evening and just drink it, or get a Jameson and drink either the whole bottle or half a bottle. Like, my mom can literally vouch for that. Like, I used to make my mom cry because I was drinking so much. Like, she was like, my son is a proper alcoholic, like proper alcoholic. Playing video games, vaping, doing crazy shit, smoking still, tried quitting multiple times, didn't happen. At the time, I did stop smoking weed because I was just bored. It was not like catching me anymore, and I was like, that makes no sense. So I got that habit out of the way, but everything else just mess still. And yeah, I was drinking with that guy. We went out in the club, got cigars and everything. Like, I'm listening to Andrew Tate, like all of the retards right now, and trying to like act cool and be cool and smoke cigars, but I'm like absolute loser. I'm not high value whatsoever, and I'm trying to act that way. Super stupid. And me and him, and I'm just buying all this shit, and I think I spent like £500, like all the money that I had that one night, and I borrowed him £100 or something. We still got home, and then I remember I never heard from him ever again. He didn't show up to work because he got suspended, funny enough, and he didn't even give me my money back. He was like, oh yeah, I'll give it then, and then I remember that same morning after that night, I woke up, I looked myself in the mirror, and like all of those promises that I told you in the beginning of the video, like hit me back. And I looked myself in the mirror, like hungover, like hating life. And I said, what are you doing? Like, what are you actually doing, man? Like, don't you see that you're ruining your life? Like, is that going to be your future 5 years from now? Like, is that going to be your existence 5 years from now? Like, you're doing absolutely nothing, drinking, working a meanest job for hours that you cannot even comprehend. You cannot even properly rest at your rest days. You're always beat up. Like, is that going to be your existence? And I said no. And that was the moment where I made a decision to change stuff. It was not like this overnight like change, but I started gradually removing habits. Like, I stopped smoking, I stopped vaping at the time. I was gonna be promoted to a manager in that restaurant, I left my job because I was like, I know hospitality. I got to the point where I'm sick of hospitality. I don't even want to speak people. And I used to love my job. Like, I used to love giving people good service and remembering people's orders and their food, and really go the extra mile for people. And they would give me tip because of the fact that I've created such value on that experience that they've had. Like, guys, I used to love doing those things, but I got to the point where I was resenting my job, and I was like, I don't want to do it anymore. So I went to sales in corporate, white collar sales position. Learned a bunch of things there: how to not sell, how to not do things. Interesting. And at the time, I had a prayer list, so I started praying again every single day. Started doing push-ups, started running, and trying to like get healthier, because I was like a bit fat at the time. I'm not like looking right now. I'm like quite leaner, like, everything, right? And that was like 2022, the end of 2022, 2023, something like that. And I'm trying to think. And I was trying a bunch of different things, like I told you: crypto, e-commerce, Hustlers University of Andrew Tate, making new connections, like doing Instagram and just growing that, and trying to figure out how to make money. But no one could help me around me. Like, no one had money, so I would go and be like, can you teach me? Like, can you show me? Can you like help me? In Hustlers University was good, but it was like a bunch of people that don't know what they're doing, trying to figure it all out. And we had the professors, but you couldn't really communicate with the professors, because obviously they're not going to talk to you. Like, they're making millions and you're just like Josh Mo. So I would even waste their time. And I had a prayer list, and I had everything that I'm grateful for. I was reading a book, Think and Grow Rich. I read it 2 times. I had the self-confidence formula. I had the thing. I have it right now, actually, from the Law of Success in 60 Lessons over there. This is my vision board, stuff like that. My white table where I'm doing like numbers for my business. We're going to get to that. Pardon me. And I started praying every single day. Every single day I would pray, and the end of my prayer would be, I'm thank you, God, that you that I found someone that can mentor me and be kind of like my spiritual father in the industry of business and like life in general, because I really needed that. I was seeking that mentorship. I was seeking that relationship. Long story short, as I'm doing my stuff, I receive a random message on Instagram from Bradley Schreiber. Shout out to you, G. And he was like, yo, I'm in Hustlers University as well. Saw that you're in Hustlers University. I'm always looking to network and, see how we can get to the next level. How is 2020, whatever year was, going for you so far? And I was like, yeah, great. We started exchanging some messages. Let's grab a Zoom coffee. And I was like, yeah, sure. Because at the time, I'm like already doing things, and I'm open-minded. I'm not stupid. Like, I knew that what I was doing was not working. So I need to figure out and find a way to make new relationships and just seek help, right? So we jumped on a call with him. He was a really cool guy. We talked about our journeys and what we're doing, and then he shared with me that he's working with these individuals and I can jump on one of their calls. So I jumped on one of their calls, and I saw people winning in a big way, a big community talking about growth and making money and helping each other and making things happen. And you have to believe it, and you have vision, and they're quoting some stuff, and they had some really cool things that I was hearing in the podcast that I was listening to, and I resonated with that a lot. And I was like, let me learn from these people. And I was like, bro, I don't know what you guys do, but I want to get myself involved. At the time, I just paid someone £1,400 for Instagram theme page mentorship, which was total garbage. I did not know why that paid him this money. I remember paid him, and then he jumped on one call with me, didn't even say a lot. I followed what he said, and then I was looking for the next steps, and he was not giving them to me, not even responding to my text messages. He was like, oh yeah, I'm on a plane till this country, or I'm on a plane to that country. And I was like, bro, fuck you, man. Like, I'm here to learn, and you like disappearing. So I know why some people, when I speak to them right now, they're like a bit scared or skeptical to take the next step, because there are people like that tell you that they can help you, and they do fuck all after that. Because at the time he was earning money, probably he was not that serious, right, of mentoring me. Anyway, and I find this individual, Bradley. He says, fantastic, let me connect you with this guy, Jake. He's helping me a lot. He's earning this amount of money right now, and he's an absolute beast. And I I was like, all right, sweet, let's meet him. So I meet this guy, Jake Parton. Jake Parton, man, he's like a brother to me right now. And he had this Matrix background, and I was like, that is crazy. I'm listening to Andrew Tate. This guy's jumping with a Matrix background. And by the way, they didn't even Bradley didn't tell him that we connected from there. It was like a random thing that he had the Matrix background. He just had it for fun. And he started talking, and he said, yes, because I told him I don't trust him. I was like, I've been burned before. Like, I don't really trust you. Imagine, I was like, one of the first conversation we have, and I'm telling him that I don't really trust him. He said, I understand, but you give me 1% of your trust and I'll earn the 99 back. And I was like, okay, that's kind of bold statement. All right, let's see. And I was like, I need some time to think, to get myself started. I needed like $400 to get myself started on a package, and I would be building a business and whatever. And they had like trading and some different things. I didn't really know. I didn't really understand. But he said, show me what you want and I'll show you how to get it. And he asked me for my goal, and I didn't know my goal. And he said, how come are you going to know who you're going to associate yourself with if you don't have a goal? Like, your goal will determine who do you listen to. And I was like, okay, that makes sense as well. So everything that he just said, it just made sense, even though I did not like it. You know what I mean? It just made sense. And I was like, fucking hell, okay. And I said, I need to think about it. Me thinking about it, by the way, was me. I didn't have the money, so I had to figure out how to get the money because I had rent due. I don't have the money. I can use my rent money, but what I'm going to do after that? So I used my rent money to get myself started, and then I had to ask for my landlord to, give me some time to get the money. So I got paid from my job, whatever. And I got myself started. I thought I'm going to be millionaire, tomorrow. Because he was like, so... It turns out I'm in the industry of network marketing, but I did not really understand it. They just said, build a list and, go strong and share with people. And this is how we invite people, and you connect them with me, like Jake. And I'm going to do the work for you because right now you don't really have results and you don't really understand what you're in. So let me do the heavy lifting for you, and you're going to sign people up. And I was like, okay, that sounds easy. Obviously, you have financial success. I'm working with you and I'm learning, and then I can connect people with you and they're going to start learning as well. And I'm going to benefit from that. I mean, sweet, okay? But it was much tougher than I expected, and I found out I'm much less influential than what I thought I was. I mean, when it was partying and shots and doing dumb shit, I was quite influential. When it came to making money and business and, serious life shit, I was not influential at all. And that's why most people quit this industry, because when you first get started, the mirror literally hangs up in front of your face, and it's painful most of the time because you realize you're not as good as you think you are, and most people cannot handle the truth, so they quit. And most people understand how everyone is so asleep and in this loop, and they don't even know what they're doing and why they're doing it and why they think the way they think. And I've always been curious ever since I was a kid, and I was really just tired of just conforming. I was tired of just following someone's plan that I knew they don't know what they're talking about. And I was just angry. I was frustrated. I was pissed off. I had resentment towards the world and life in general. And I'd given up on people, and I was seeing only the bad in people. And I became cynical, and I just needed help, guys. Obviously I wanted to make money, but I was like, I just need help, man. I need help, man, because I cannot be living this life anymore. I need to get better. I think that's why I'm so fired up and passionate about personal development and growing every single day and pushing yourself in every area and just being a good human being and doing the best you can with what you got. I'm a big supporter of that. And I know that I'm never going to quit. That's why I know I'll become a millionaire, because I just know I'm not going to quit. It's impossible. I have too much reasons to keep going, right? My mom and my dad, I want to provide for them. My dad's not going to be able to work forever. Mom is getting older. They will need someone supporting. And I saw how hard it was for them to support their parents working the things that they were working. So obviously I need to figure out a way to make more money. Help my sister and my brother-in-law and friends and family, and support my family one day, and make sure my kids don't experience the things that I experienced, even though now that I understand that if I want them to be good human beings, that they'll have to go through struggle, but I will create the struggle and I can see how to teach them better. Anyway, got started in this business, started sharing it, found out I'm not as influential I was, and it was tough, man. It was tough. Like, I was paying $300 subscription every single month that I did not have. I was getting into loans to travel to events. I was buying event tickets that I could not even go to in America because I didn't have a visa, but my mentors was telling me to do stuff that I didn't understand. And I decided to be really coachable and teachable, and I decided to become someone who is of value to my mentor, Jake Parton, because I knew that if I want to learn, I have to make sure that I provide value to him. Like, he has to want me to be around him, and the only way that he would want me to be around him is if I have a pleasing personality. I'm a good human being. I find solutions. I help him out. And I was not the best performer in the business, but I was making, and I'm still doing a lot of things for him that a lot of people don't even see. That's why I've built such a relationship with him, and he's my family as well now. Because we've created a bond and we have loyalty that most people don't even understand. Like, they talk about loyalty, but they don't understand shit about loyalty. And I did everything I can. I was doing flyers, I was promoting calls, and I was obviously learning and trying to close people. And I realized the reason I love the industry of network marketing is because it's the purest moral way of compensation. You get rewarded for the value that you provide on the marketplace and how many people you help achieve their goals. Everybody's winning together. There is not someone that is benefiting more than the next person. Like, everyone benefits equally on their journey at the same time. You're utilizing incredible products and services. You're learning from people that have the results that you want for basically nothing. Like, if you want to learn from people earning 6 figures plus, you have to invest like $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $10,000, whatever grand. And here is like much lower. But I was investing in a lot of things. I was buying event tickets that I couldn't even get to because I was putting it into the universe. Like, I'm going to make it happen, which actually, in the long run, speeded my process of getting my visa. Usually people wait 2, 3, 4 years. I got it in like a year and something. So that was cool. So I have a visa for America. I've been to America already. And I was going in events, and I can keep saying so many stories, and I'll probably share it in other videos. Like, I went to Houston, Texas, no money, literally arrived at Houston, Texas, my first time in America, flying internationally on a plane by myself, 2 flights, and I had like 30 pounds, 40 pounds, like, after paying the taxi, which I thought was gonna rob me, and it was actually a robbery. I had to pay him like $80-$90, and if I would have gotten an Uber, it would be 35. Anyway, that's a fun story of its own. And I didn't know what to do, and I'm there in Houston for 5 days. My rent is due, my bills are due, have no money, don't know what I'm gonna do. Just figure it out, obviously, as always. Made it all happen. And yeah, I've been through a lot of shit, guys. I've been through a lot of shit, but I'm grateful for it because now I can relate to a lot of people. I can resonate with a lot of people. I can help a lot of people. I really understand what sacrifice and change requires. I'm not definitely where I want to be, but I'm not where I used to be. I stopped drinking. For the last 3 years, I've drank very few times. This year I haven't drank. 2023, pretty sure I didn't drink a single drop of alcohol. 2024, I was drinking a bit, like probably 10 days in the whole year, 15, 20 days in the whole year, maximum. This year I haven't drank. I'm eliminating as many vices as I can possible. Trying to be a good person. And we had this company that we were a part of called iBoomerang, and things were not working out, and I was really ready to quit the industry this year, January. Like, really close. We were in a really kind of rut. But I'm extremely loyal because God literally answered my prayer, and he gave me Jake. And we're really powerful together and complement each other. So I knew I would not leave him, but I couldn't stay in the company. So I was really faced with a situation where I was not sure what I'm gonna do. So I was really ready to tell him, like, bro, I'll help you anything I can, but I don't want to build this business anymore because I was lost, I was miserable. again, I was like, what am I even doing? Like, I want to help people, but I don't believe in the products. I don't believe in the service. I see some people lying and not really leading the way that they should be leading, and I couldn't help myself to bring people there. And like stacked so many years of negative experience and setbacks and no's and being kicked back, and it was tough, man. It was tough, and I'm not gonna play it like it's not. Like, it's tough, guys. If you decide to really go for entrepreneurship and change your family generational curse, like if you've never made six figures and you decide to become a millionaire, God is gonna test you, guys. God will test you. He will test you, guys. You have so many stories to tell, though. Like, I'm excited to share a lot of the things with you guys in the journey. But yeah, I got myself to that situation, and I was really ready to say I'm leaving. And then he said that we're moving companies and we're joining Alex Morton, and he was speaking with this guy called Jim Bratch, and Jim is an absolute beast. Love him. Alex Morton, absolute legend in the industry of network marketing, and a really great human being as well. So we joined them, and that's where I hit my highest rank of gold for the first time, making that much money in network marketing. But then obviously after time, my rank went back to silver, which is 700 a month. So right now I have to rebuild again. So right now, I was doing a lot of things. I was doing a lot of content and Instagrams and TikToks and talking to people. But I got to the point where I'm like, guys, like, I want to help you. And I see so many people wanting help, wanting their life to get better, wanting to make more money. And when they're presented with an opportunity, they're so stupid that they would not take it for one reason or another. And I used to be really frustrated with people, but then I just stopped. Like, I'm trying to learn that, number one, I need to become a better communicator of how what I have can help them. Number two, I have to ask them more questions and make it make sense to them. And number three, a lot of people are royally retarded, and it is their fault. I was gonna say that it's not their fault, but it's obviously all their fault. Everything is your fault all of the time, 24/7. The reason it's your fault is because when you accept responsibility, that means that you're gonna change it. If I tell you it's not your fault, then you have something to lean on and excuse yourself. Why are you not where you want to be? The reason I'm where I am right now, it's my fault. Whether that's good or bad, it's my fault. The reason where you are right now, it's your fault. Whether the situation is good or bad, guess what? It's your fault. It's always your fault. 100% responsibility. Always 100% responsibility. So came back from Houston, by the way, and I was 84 kilograms, absolute fat bastard. And I was like, that's no more. I started hitting the gym properly. So now I'm looking quite well. I'm bulking more. I got myself into martial arts, and I'm doing kickboxing right now. That's my eyes a bit black. Had some sparring that we did with a guy who's really good. Anyway, that is really messed up story, but like, it's not a lot of storyline. I'm just like handing you out like things that have happened to this point. But yeah, we started in Gifu. It's great, but then again, because of all of those experiences that I've had to this point, I'm just self-analyzing in real time. I'm still having a bit harder time to share it with people, because everything that I've heard about the industry, I haven't really experienced it yet, to be honest. And I do have faith and belief in the industry. I know the potential, but I think I just need to grow more as a person and learn to love people more, and learn that the true battle is actually within yourself. And from the book that I'm reading right now, The Purpose Driven Life, is I understand that it's not about us. And for the last few days, I've kind of been thinking about that, and things have been getting better. Right now, I would not say that I'm in the best situations, but things are getting better. Financially, emotionally, spiritually. The good thing is that for a lot of the things that I'm doing, I don't even need emotions anymore. I don't really need motivation, because I've built a lot of discipline, and I have like a corner store. I know that I need to read every day and think positive things and affirm the things that I want, and go to the gym and eat as clean as possible, and life is kind of good, and it's getting better, and I have good family and friends around me, and I have a beautiful relationship with Jake and his family and his children, and I have a great support network, and I'm helping a lot of people. But I have to keep reminding myself that, and I have to keep reminding myself where I started and where I am right now, and that's a freaking great progress. If I think about it right now, like, that's a good progress. And I know I'm good looking, I know I'm smart, I'm sharp, I know I care about people. I know that I go the extra mile. I know that I genuinely have a heart to serve people. I know that I always do the right thing. I have a really good moral compass and a strong moral compass. The only thing that I need to hack is selling and how to influence people so that I can help them get what they want, because I know that I can. I know that I can, but what I still can't properly do is communicate them with them properly, because no one had to convince me to change my life. I was already seeking it, and I think that's the thing with me is I used to try and force, like I was trying to force this Pepsi can to turn into a water bottle, but it's not. Like, there's either a water bottle, like the person is either a water bottle or either a Pepsi can. You cannot turn Pepsi cans into water bottles and water bottles into Pepsi cans. Like, some people, I think at this moment right now, some people have it in them and some people don't have it in them to grow and to learn and to get better and to take risks, and that's completely fine. If you can be a Pepsi can and figure out a way to be happy and content and live the way you want to live and be a good human being, like, I'm rooting for you, man. I like you win, because you're much better than me right now. But I'm looking to be the best water bottle on the face of the planet. I want to impact a lot of people. I want to help a lot of people. I want to grow. The reason I want to become a millionaire is because I've heard so many stories of people coming from nothing and becoming millionaires that I'm like, if they've done it, I should probably be able to do it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, they're not that special, you know? If they can do it, I can do it. So I just need to, like, figure out how and make it and, like, accept it, actually. Increase my self-confidence, increase my worth, be a good human being again, help the people that want to be helped and ignore the people that are not ready to be helped, and just love them from afar, and just get better in everything that you do. And yeah, the thing is that I'm not in a rush, to be honest. I don't really care. Like, I have goals and I want things to be accomplished, but I understand that I'm not operating on my time frame. I'm operating on God's time frame, and He knows what I want, and I know that He knows what is the best time and what process I need to go through in order to get it, so I can handle that responsibility, and He will bless me accordingly to that. I've seen enough stories of people being given what was theirs too soon, and that was destructive. So what I'm learning right now is to trust God more, and really stay in my own lane, and hopefully everything is gonna work out best case scenario, like it always does. And I'm interested to see how that's gonna happen, with you also looking at that. This is the first message. It is a bit longer, but I just wanted to capture that. There is a lot more things that I could say that maybe another time. I didn't really want to do this video, to be honest, guys. It's too vulnerable, too open, and too honest. Something was telling me to do it, probably, I don't know, voice of God, whatever you want to call it. So I'm here, literally just stood out of bed and just pressed record and start recording. But yeah, guys, this is where I'm right now. My business is not popping off yet. It's 21st of June 2026. I'm excited to see what's gonna happen. I'm gonna document every single day what I'm learning, what's happening. Today was a really good day, by the way. One thing that I started doing is tip always and give people money on the street. I get 10% of my income and I just give people, like, buy gifts and give homeless people and people that sing on the street, and tip waiters and different things. And God keeps blessing me because I'm a blessing to others. It's the golden rule. I read a book called The Go-Getter. I made a few new connections. I helped new person get onboarded and help them set up with the trading. But yeah, network marketing is an interesting business, guys. It really reveals you who you are to you, to a lot of adversity, but it's the most rewarding way of doing business. Is the one that is going to grow you the most, is the one that is most rewarding, not only monetarily but in all aspects of your life. If you want to become a leader, if you want to leave a legacy, if you want to grow as a human being, if you want to leave an impact and really leave a mark in eternity, and really one day when we leave this planet have a long-lasting impact, I think network marketing is a great way to do that. And anyone that decides to have that calling, this is the industry for you. We have trading as well. We have a lot of cool things that I'm using, so I'm going to keep you posted. I have no clue what I'm going to be talking about. I'm just going to be sharing you the journey and the process and what I'm up to and what I'm doing. I'm going to keep it as real as possible, as vulnerable as possible, and I'm going to keep it as consistent as possible. But this is just me documenting my journey to me and to some people around me that would want to probably hear it one day. Who knows if I'm like super effective. And to be honest, I don't care about being famous. I want to be effective. If that's going to help some people by resonating with my story, that's great, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. Jesus Christ, that was a long one. Kind of feels good sharing all of that. And yeah, I will see you tomorrow. God bless.